What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today I am going to bring you guys a video that was kind of a lot requested. It is going to be the Optimum Idol Phase AI Zen 25 comparison, as you guys have seen in the title, which is why you probably clicked this video. So these are three of our Pearl low RG high diff bowling balls. Another very important slot in your arsenal. Typically the balls you're going to be throwing when the lanes are starting to cook a little bit in the front. You just grab one of these balls, you stand left, you throw right, hooks back, goes boom, boom through the pins. But there's a reason why there are three of them, not only because we have three different brands, Storm, Rotogrip, and 900 Global, but they do have different characteristics, and those are going to be specifically catered to certain people. So I'm going to show you guys the differences between the three. First, I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of an overview. The Optimum Idol Pearl, I'm probably going to throw first. Actually, I'll probably just throw it and then I'll talk about it. But Optimum Idol Pearl, obviously it's a Pearl Optimum Idol. It is the oldest one out of the three. This one came out in like July or August or something like that. This one has the strongest cover of them all. This is the Micro Trax, the full nano, the strongest one, strongest cover. And it's also got the most diff. It's got 56 diff as opposed to the AI's got 53. Zen's got 54. Might not sound a lot, but it makes a little bit of a difference. Now I'm just gonna throw them here, show you guys the shape differences. They do all have the same layout, except for this one's got the 2 3/4 inch buffer, and the other one's got 3-inch buffers. So they're 5 1/4 by 5 by 3. This one's 5 1/4 by 5 by 2 3/4. No idea why. I feel like the 1/4 inch makes a difference. I think it's just a personal preference, how I'm feeling on that day type thing. So this ball, for me, feels like just the strongest overall front to back. This is one that the state that I'm currently in my bowling career, which is I don't really have one at all. That one's gonna come out when there is a very long pattern out there. Anything 44 and up, I'm probably bringing this ball, and it's probably gonna come into play because balls with that strong a cover and they're Pearl, that's when they feel like they're the best. So when you have a long pattern, you got a little bit thinner of a, I guess, spread compared to a pattern that's a little bit shorter. So one, you're gonna want something that transitions a little bit quicker because you got less time for the ball to hook down the lane, i.e. why you get a Pearl ball. And with the stronger blend, it gets it to pick up in that long distance of oil. So it gives you kind of that nice blend of, you get to float through the front because the oil is not as thick in the front part of the lane, but the cover being so strong and the core being so strong, it slows down and it's not going to be as boggy as, say, your dull solids. But this one for me, even though it's an Optimum Idol, you guys know how much I like my idols. Not a huge window of usage for me, just on regular house shot applications, just because it is so strong. But when I go ball in a pattern, this ball's coming. So this one by far the strongest out of the three. Maybe the more I throw it, maybe the more likelihood there will be of me taking it to a house shot tournament. But I'm gonna move on to the next ball. Next one's gonna be the Phase AI. So the Phase AI and the Zen 25, admittedly, very similar balls. I believe the cover stocks are very similar. Core numbers are super similar. I think the RGs are the same and the diffs just one off. Like I said, AI is 53, Zen 25 is 54. But I think where the biggest difference comes in is the color. Obviously visually, they look very different. These brighter colors, specifically the white, they have dyes that are liquid and ones that are powder. I think the brighter colors are like powder, and they typically make the balls pick up a little bit earlier, stronger, meatier, beefier in the middle part of the lane. So I'm gonna stay in the same spot. And also, admittedly, this one is the freshest. I literally just drilled this. So it's probably gonna look like it transitions a bit quicker, which I think it probably is the quickest out of the three anyways, as far as how it exits the back of the pattern. That hook phase seems to be the shortest. But this one also seems to be the most forward. I'll show you guys. You guys kind of see how quick it transitioned and then just went forward through the pins? I suppose the Optimum Idol was a little bit more of a longer hook phase, a little bit rollier, and it kept going sideways. I don't know why. I can't tell you scientifically why it does that, but I also found out with my first one, which was pinned down, and I drilled my first one pinned down specifically for that reason, so it didn't do that. But this one, kind of the same deal, especially with this layout, with the pin-up layout as the Optimum Idol Pearl. I would need a very long pattern or something with a lot of oil, specifically like in the middle / down the lane, to throw this ball because it is so strong and so quick. But on the flip side, balls like this, if I'm feeling like that with these kind of balls, for the everyday league bowler, they're fantastic. Like this ball we sold a ton of in the 2-3 months that it's been out. Optimum Idol Pearls we sold a good amount of, and that's just what league bowlers need. They need a stronger cover blend for the pearls, because typically league bowlers throw a little bit harder, a little bit more up the right. Rev rate's probably not 500, so they need a ball that's going to slow down, but they don't want one that hooks super early all the time. I'm going to throw my league bowler shot just to show you guys. That's kind of what league bowlers are looking for. That's why I feel like the majority of them either go towards the stronger cover pearl symmetric balls. Not all the consumers know that it's a stronger cover pearl blend. Most consumers don't even know that there's a difference between like stronger cover stock pearls, weaker cover stock pearls like R2S. So they kind of gravitate towards these, or like cleaner pearl asymmetric balls like Equinox, Attention Star, those kind of balls. Just for that reason right there. You kind of get into that blackjack zone, stand on 20, hit 10. You kind of just throw it out there somewhere, and it's got the response time to hook off the friction like that, but it's not the super clean balls like Road Warrior, where it's going to be a super long skid through the front and then a quicker transition on the back, which is not super controllable. Or on the flip side, the super strong dull cover balls, because on most house shots there's a lot of friction out there. You don't need to create much more than that. But here we go, the last one, which for me, and I think for most higher rev players out of the three, this is going to be the most useful one across a wide range of patterns. Like I said, the cover stocks I think are pretty close as far as Phase and Zen 25. Optimum Idol's got the strongest cover of them all. But this one, again, with the colors, with the slightly darker colors, it feels like it's a little bit cleaner and a little bit of a rounder transition on the back, which, like I said, for higher rev rates like myself, and for you guys out there who are higher rev rates, it's a little more controllable and a little more usable. Like this is the only one out of the three I would feel comfortable throwing on a house shot. Again, if you guys are longtime viewers of the channel, you guys have seen the Zen 25 on lane 14. It looked pretty nice. Yeah, that was the same exact spot where I stood. Might not have thrown in the same spot because I'm not very accurate, but you just see the transition difference. That one is the most, at the current moment, continuous. It's just matching up the best on something like this, a little bit higher friction surface. This is just a house shot that I'm bowling on. But you can see there, it gets through the front, I would say the easiest. I'm not worried about that one really. I was gonna say something very inappropriate on accident. Caught myself. I'm not worried about that one getting offline as early as the other two. And as you can see, the way it goes through the pins, that one was looking for the 7 pin. I would say the Phase AI, once it made its hook, it was going straight and kind of just ran over the 8 pin, but not like the great kind of run over the 8 pin. It was like, it was high and went straight. Then the Optimum Idol was shape-wise kind of in between, a little bit quicker than the Zen 25, not as quick as the Phase AI. But they do have their subtle differences, obviously. Like I said, I'm just gonna throw a few more for you just to give you guys a little bit better visual, because I know the things that I see in my head, the things that I know, you guys don't always get to interpret and see. So I'm trying to give you guys the best visual representation of what I'm seeing and what I'm thinking. But the best way might be to move a little bit further left to really see if we can get the stronger ones to burn up and see which ones keep going. So this is like 7 left. So that one picked up, kept going, almost 4.9. One of these two I will expect to roll out and not look fantastic. No! We're gonna go back to Phase AI. This is the one I expect to really just kind of hook and stop on me. Like I said, I think it's got the shortest hook window. This is gonna be one of those ones where it either goes high or it rolls out and it flat ends. Or does that. But even though that struck, that's not visually a shape that I think will strike a lot. I don't know if you guys can see it on camera, but I can see it. It just hooks and goes very forward. It's very quick. Like I said, my feelings about it when I was up there, feeling like it'll either go high because it is so strong, or it's just gonna roll out. That's very close to doing that. And I'll throw one more from that spot and see if it does it, or if it proves me wrong. Again, visually, not a shape that I enjoy from this spot on the lane. There we go. I know that was a bit further right, but I don't think the Zen 25 does that from there, just because that hook window is a little bit longer. It's a little bit cleaner feeling, and it kind of goes to the left a little bit more progressively and a little bit more consistently than that AI will. There, it just burns up so fast that if I get it right, it's too strong. And last but not least, we're gonna throw the Optimum Idol Pearl from out there. So I just thought of this now, just kind of putting it all together. I feel like the Phase AI is probably a lot better when your angles are straighter. Like I said, not only for the blackjack bowler, the league bowler, as you saw right there, when the rev rate's a little bit lower, you need that quicker transition. But for a high performance player, I think that ball should get a lot of surface on it, really slow it down, and it'll be really good for pretty much playing off the Phase 2. If you need just a little bit more clearance through the front and a little bit quicker down lane, you just go straight to that. But it doesn't feel like the big bendy kind of ball because it is so quick and forward. When balls are forward, you'll typically want a straighter angle through the front. The pinky from over here. Kind of gross. But it had the same kind of quickness as the AI, not quite as forward though. They're just such subtle differences that I hope you guys can see them with the kind of down low camera. These are just things I know about the balls already because I've tested them so much that I kind of know that they're gonna happen. So again, these are three of the same kinds of balls. Your mid/late transition balls. Did I pick that up? Look at me go. But you gotta find the one that is the best for you, the one that fits your arsenal the best, that complements your arsenal the best. To build the absolute best arsenal, you really need to complement each of the balls. You don't want overlap. In the 6-ball arsenal, I probably wouldn't have Phase 2 and Phase AI in the same bag because you get a little bit of weight block overlap, and if that velocity core is not looking too good, then you got two balls that aren't gonna look very good. I do notice that my Phase 2 and the AI with this certain layout, they are a little quick and a little bit forward for what I would like to use them for. So I would probably only have one of them in an arsenal and then kind of complement it, maybe Phase AI with an Optimum Idol or Phase AI with a Sublime Focus. I actually did win a tournament with that combination, so Sublime Focus, Phase AI might be the 1-2 combo. But just to double back on the Zen 25, I'm gonna throw one from that same spot and give you guys a real good visual representation of how much rounder it is. I really hope you guys can see it. I can see it. That was a little bit left, I know, but it's just not the ball that I'm worried about hooking and stopping. I'm not worried about really fighting it through the front part of the lane, which is something I found very early on when I was throwing it. If you guys watched the Zen 25 strike challenge, if you guys watched that, I kind of talked about how I thought it was going to be a lot quicker than it is, and it wasn't. It's a ball that I can be fairly aggressive with, and it wouldn't over go on me too bad like it feels like the AI and the Optimum would. So all in all, to encapsulate this, if I were to categorize which balls would be good for which players, I think Optimum Idol / Phase AI, because of how strong and how quick they are in the middle part of the lane, higher ball speed league bowlers, guys that like to play the blackjack spot, and longer patterns if you're out bowling on patterns. I think the Zen 25's a little bit cleaner, so that one would be a little bit better for trying to play left and bend the lane, or guys that are a little bit slower ball speed. I have messed around before with my league bowler kind of release with the Zen 25 and doesn't look quite as good for my league bowler release. But if you're one of those kind of tweener league bowlers, you play a little bit further left between the second, third arrow kind of guy. You've got a pretty okay ball speed, pretty okay rev rate. That ball will probably get you 800. That is it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys learned something. Those are the 3 Premier Pearl low RG high diff balls. Very important part of your arsenal. Like I said, kind of that mid-late transition kind of ball that you're gonna need if you wanna keep up and keep striking as you're moving left throughout the lane. There you go, guys. I hope you guys learned a few things about these balls and figure out which one might be the best option for you. If you guys still don't know, feel free to come in and TV Bowling Supply if you're in the Columbus area. If not, then come out to the Columbus area and I can get you guys helped out and figured out which ball would fit in your arsenal the best. If you guys enjoyed any of these balls and you want to get one and you're not in the Columbus area, tvbowlingsupply.com down in the description below. If you guys like this jersey, as always, efx.co, use code MITA or CHVI at checkout for 10% off. But that is it, guys. Pearl Symmetrics, big part of your bag. Pick the right one, throw some strikes.